This week we blast off with an indie bottling from thewhiskeybarrel.com. Houston, we've had a problem. Single malt Scotch whisky distilled at Highland Park.
Yes, that's right. We're combining some of my favourite loves, space and whiskey. But will it be any good? Who knows? But we're still at HQ, the place where we've been living while we're making my album at Abbey Road, and we're joined by the guitarist, Mr. Daniel Cox.
Dun, dun, dun.
If you want to see a nice picture of the bottle from this week's show, and a rubbish one, then head to our social media platforms at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, and don't forget to give us a review. The Spotify reviews have rolled out now, so hopefully you figured it out. But all massively helps. But just enjoy this week's episode. It's coming up right now.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 97 of Whisky and Things. I'm Dave Giles.
I'm Nick Kent.
We have a special guest this week. We have a very special guest. Before we get on to chat, let's introduce him. Go on then, Nick.
Daniel Cox.
We have Daniel Cox with us.
Guitarist
The
of the next.
Daniel Cox.
Guitarist of the next Dave Giles album.
Dan is currently playing guitar for my album. We're recording in Abbey Road. And he's also just a great all-round guy and a guitar player. He's in a band called Alite. Alite, as if you're getting off a train. And they've just released their debut album, which is ridiculously good.
Is that up there?
And Nick, we've got vinyl of it up there.
Yeah, look at that.
And Nick is going to put a link to the Splotterfly on our show notes. But also, we haven't mentioned this in ages, mate. Our Spotify playlist. There will be a song added to our Spotify playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that for Adam. We had a couple of weeks ago as well. Forgot to do that.
Oh,
we will do that.
There we go.
Don't forget this time.
We definitely won't forget this time.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, loads of people listen to it, Dan, so it's really going to help your numbers.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, Dan. How are you finding the Abbey Road experience?
Well, how do I answer that? It is the best and most challenging experience ever, especially working with Mr. Dave Giles.
Challenging is the word, isn't it?
Challenging? Yeah, I mean, there are challenges in life, and then, yes, it's working with Mr. Dave Giles.
Yeah. It's rewarding as well when you finish it.
Is it?
Yeah. You're like,
Well, I haven't
how
finished
the
it
hell
yet.
did I survive that?
Well, I haven't finished it yet, so I'll take your word for it.
Got a couple of days
In
yet.
a few days, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we've got 2 days left. As this comes out, we'll be done. But
Yeah.
we're recording this on Sunday. The 23rd today isn't it?
It is.
Don't know.
Yeah,
Forgotten
it is.
now.
Yeah, well, it's
This will
very
be
odd.
out on the 26th. And yesterday was our last day, as it were.
all will be done.
Yeah.
So back to normal next week.
Yeah. It's Burns
What?
night, Tuesday, Dave.
Is it?
Yeah, so yesterday, everyone, was Burns night.
Yesterday.
Hope you did something fun. Yeah.
Oh, my haggis seems so far away.
Oh, listen to that voice.
I know.
Lovely.
You should be a singer, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Don't see
day.
you singing with your shirt on that often at the moment, but you know.
Well, mate, it's only been 2 songs I've taken my shirt off for out of 12. That's not too bad.
David has, when he wants to really turn on the...
When I can't hit the high notes,
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable when I have no clothes on.
Shame the rest of us don't.
Look, none of you have to be in the room or even watch when it's
Yeah,
happening.
but there's a giant TV, so we
Well, you can turn it
technically
off.
do. Oh, okay. Noted.
Noted.
Thank you.
There it is.
Or just go to the bar.
We'll go. Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
do
I
that.
tell you what, the Abbey Road bar is wonderful. I'm loving being in there. It's a shame they don't have much whiskey.
Yeah, they have
Slim pickings.
Slim Pickens, Johnny Walker Black and Jack Daniels, which is fine, but we haven't had a whiskey yet there, have we?
No, I don't think no. Kat did. Dan's wife did when she came down and sang the other day.
Yep, she had a few of the Johnny Walkers. She's enjoying that.
Just because she wanted to say she'd had a whiskey at Abbey Road.
Yeah, she loves that stuff.
So Kat is also in Alite.
Yes.
And she's a great singer. And Dan and Kat are both in a function band with me, and Dan and I do a lot of acoustic gigs together. So Dan and I know each other quite well. And Dan has become quite a whiskey drinker over the last couple of years. Is that true?
It is true. I try and resist it because
You've seen what it's done to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's exactly that. That I look at you two and I see my future.
How old are you?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't tell by looking, but he's actually older than both of us, Nick, because we've
Is this on
drunk too
camera?
much.
I hope so.
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
What's your favourite drop? I know the answer to this.
Yeah, it's a new discovery for me. Now, I'm probably going to get chastised for this because it's fairly budget whiskey, but I am loving Tamnavulin at the moment.
Which one?
Just the standard, it's a standard sherry cask, I think.
The one you get in Co-op.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Really
why,
good drop.
How or what, I don't know, or even care, if I'm honest.
That's not your budget one. That's quite that's,
Relatively speaking,
well,
I'd say it was.
Yeah.
But I have managed to drink a lot of it, especially whilst mixing our album. Yes, fair amount. Just love it.
That's good.
Is that bad?
No.
Tell me.
No, of course not.
Connoisseurs.
Absolutely not.
Good. I feel accepted for the first time in 2 weeks.
Right, well, Dan, we've got a special treat for you today, or it could be awful. This is one that we've been talking about for a while now. So this week's whiskey. I got bought this as a gift.
He doesn't let me even say it.
Well, you can say it if you want, but I was going to do it. I'm happy to take the lead on
go
this.
ahead.
Nick, if you
I tell you,
wish.
I'll do it.
Shouldn't there be an announcement sound? Like,
All right,
That's
here's
more
Sting,
work.
Nick. Go on.
Whiskey?
This week's whiskey.
Oh, this is now messing up everything. I lost my catchphrase. All right, so I got this as a gift. I don't know who from. It just turned up last year in lockdown, during the first lockdown, so 2 years ago now. It's called Houston, We've Had a Problem, Single Malt Scotch Whisky, commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission, which happened in 1970. It says it was distilled at Highland Park, which, as we know, is in Orkney, and it's 13 years old. It was distilled in 2007 and bottled in March 2020, so literally right before the 50th anniversary. It's a single cask bottling, so it's cask strength, 61.3%. It says product of Scotland on the bottle, and that's about all there is. There's a picture of the of the service module, the Apollo 13 service module after the explosion. If you've not seen that film, go and watch it because it will explain everything about it. I'm going to take a slight issue with some of the information on the back. It says on April the 11th, 1970, Apollo 13 launched from the Kennedy Space Center. True. On April 14th, commander and pilot reported Houston, we've had a problem. Okay, well.
Oh, I feel I'm about to learn something.
Well, it depends what time zone you use as to whether it was April 14th or not. But in Houston, it was April the 13th. And if you're going by where it launched from, it would have been April the 13th as well. So they're kind of jumping time zones. I'm being a little bit pernickety there, but
I
It's
think
not
so.
like us to be pernickety.
well, funny you should say that because we went for a whiskey today. Well, no, we didn't. We went for a tea and a coffee in a pub. We didn't
Can't
have a
take
whiskey,
you
and we
to
were looking
anywhere.
at the bar. Actually, this is a good diversion. This is a good digression, which I'm glad you reminded me of, Dan, while I'm being pernickety. And Nick was looking at the whiskey menu and noticed that they'd put Monkey Shoulder in single malt whiskies.
It was a travesty, wasn't it?
I mean,
you
yeah.
two were beside yourself.
Quite beside ourselves. And the question was, do we point it out to them? We didn't. And I didn't tweet them, which I thought about
Oh, I
doing.
thought you had.
I
thought you
tweeted
had.
about it,
Okay.
but I didn't tweet them directly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
They also put Bullet Rye in the bourbon section.
Yeah.
But we're fine. Don't worry about it.
And Jack Daniels in
We're
there
bigger
as well,
than
which,
that, Dave.
some
We're
people
bigger
would,
than
but
that.
some people wouldn't.
Yeah.
But are we? Because it's been bugging me ever since.
If we'd had a couple of whiskies, then
I would have
maybe
said something.
We would.
Bearing in mind, on the same walk, I told someone to put their dog on the lead because we were in a part of the park that said dog on the lead. I am the person that would tell people.
Yeah. Well, the lady who was serving us, she didn't look like she was up for a joke.
Yeah.
At the time, she looked
It
very.
wouldn't have been a
rushed off her
joke, that's the
feet.
thing. There's no point saying it would have been a joke. It wouldn't have been a joke. Excuse me, it's an error on your menu.
But that's the question, though, listeners. Should you pull up pubs if they put the whiskey in the wrong menu? I mean, the answer's no. But fill your boots.
Anyway, back to this week's whiskey.
Anyway, I don't know about Danny. You a bit thirsty?
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
am
bit
now
a
after
bit
that
parched.
story.
Yeah.
Right, so this bottle, it says it's about commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission, as we said. And it's been brought to you by thewhiskeybarrel.com. And it selected a single sherry cask of smoky Orcadian single malt. And it's matured in an Oloroso hogshead,
Yeah.
What?
which is a big barrel. That's right, isn't it? It's bigger
Big
than normal.
sherry barrel.
Yeah.
Okay, it just sounded different. But this is new to me.
And here are the notes they say. Circle the moon in an orbit of peat smoke. Cigar Box Odyssey with a dried fig cluster. No, Odyssey was the name of the command module, so that's what they've done there. Earthbound in rich fruits and sweet sherry before a warm bonfire splashdown. Well, they landed in the sea, so bonfire splashdown. I'm not really sure. Anyway, Out of This World and Back Again. Bottle 169, a 322. Now, I am very dubious about this. I'll be honest. I think that, the label just looks like a cheap sticker thing.
May I?
There's some bold claims.
I don't know. I've never had anything else by the Whisky Barrel. It may be very good. I feel like this is a little bit of a gimmick. They do lots of other Apollo themed stuff. They do other things as well. I'm not saying that they're all bad. We haven't even tried this yet. But I've been dubious about this since the moment I got it.
Yeah, I'm still on their website now, having a look at other things they've done.
And these things aren't that cheap. I believe this was probably about 80 quid.
Okay.
You can't. Obviously it was limited, and I think they sell out quick because they go for the novelty labels and do it like this, where it actually commemorates something, and space geeks like me want to collect things. I wonder how many of those people who have bought one of these have even opened it.
Yes. You've now broken the seal.
I've broken the seal, but I haven't popped the cork yet.
They've got another one on here called The Eagle Has Landed.
Yeah, they've had loads, mate.
8 year, 125 quid.
And
wow.
What I liked about this
Kalila.
one, they've had one for Apollo 10. I think they did an Apollo 9 one. They've released an Apollo 17 one this year because it's the 50th anniversary of that. They do these kind of things, and as a set, what I find intriguing is this one is 13 years old, which makes sense. But the Apollo 11 one they did was 8 years old. What's that all about?
Yes.
Maybe you should think about tweeting them more.
Well, maybe I will. I'm sure they will get tweeted about this.
But got Lefroy. It's been a long way. 15-year-old.
But that's the Apollo 15 one. No,
I don't know. 145 quid. What we got?
For those of you who can't hear, they're currently looking down.
Apollo 14 mission. That one.
Yeah.
It's a 15-year-old.
Yeah, miles and miles.
Okay.
Miles. It's gone a long
Miles
way.
and miles and miles.
Yeah, there we go.
Slight plug.
Little Easter egg there. If you're listening to this in a year's time, maybe.
It would make
Anyway,
sense.
Shall we open
gonna
it?
pour that, mate.
Okay.
Do it.
So it's also very strong. So we do have some water here just in case we want to then. Not a bad little pop.
That's a proper cork too. That's not one that's been chopped up and put back together.
Okay, well, I'm enjoying that smell. So
What we talk about 61.3 ABV.
I've not gone too big of a pour there, Daniel, because of how strong it is.
Kind of just sense it by looking at it.
Refill Oloroso sherry, which means not first fill. So,
But it
it's
said
been filled before.
Yes, but it also said on the bottle, matured in Oloroso, but selected a single sherry cask.
Yes.
Smoky oak. So
it's full of maturation. Yeah,
in a sherry cask, and then also matured in. Oh no, is that the whole time?
yeah, the whole time.
Oh, right,
full
I see.
maturation,
me
but it's a
see.
refill.
I
Like
wanna
it's
see
been
this.
used to mature whiskey
Oh,
before.
okay.
Now that has been used again.
Right.
So it would say first fill if it was that.
Noted.
This is a refill. So again, doesn't matter. It doesn't say they've recharred it or anything, but it
Yeah,
might
I mean
be
you're
a bit
getting a
more.
lot of sherry on the nose.
Might be a bit more subtle.
All those fruity.
You know what, I like the smell of that already.
It smells good,
Me
doesn't
too.
it?
Yeah.
That sounds
I mean,
really
it-
fresh.
Yeah. Sea air. Hey Dan, Nick's just done something and reminded me of this actually because we don't do this in person very often. He just did a very good thing. When he smelled, he opened his mouth a little bit.
Allows the vapors to go through so they don't burn your old factory system.
I'm just enjoying it. I kind of want to get inside the glass. And
That's a weird sign.
I mean, this would be a great scented candle.
I feel like I'm walking along a sea cliff somewhere and I can smell a bonfire in the distance. If
That's
you
a
could put that in
that is a
glass.
great.
I'm trying to smell the heather
Analogy.
because Orkney peat has a lot of heather in it, which can be picked out sometimes.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things.
Yeah, should we taste this then? Should we get our lips around it?
Yeah, ready.
I think this is going to be strong.
Yeah.
It is smoky.
Smoother than I expected it to be, actually.
Yeah, in terms of the kick from the alcohol.
That's hitting me now. Like 20 seconds after. Are you getting that as well?
Yeah.
The burn is kind of like coming on afterwards.
Tell you what,
Pleasant, though.
this room was a bit cold. I don't feel cold anymore.
I turn the heating on.
All right. It's nothing to do with
That'll
this.
do it.
That would do it. That's a long finish.
That's a lot of flavour as well.
That's a lot of flavour.
There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Yeah. Actually, I said I was dubious about it. The liquid so far, I think it's good. I think that we can all agree on a first tasting.
Can anyone explain to me then why So now I've gone back to just smelling, and that's now a different experience because I've tasted it.
Yeah, well,
So it smells different now.
Yeah. Well, you're getting like a retro hail through the back of your mouth.
Yeah.
So all the tastes are going back from the back of your nose, as it were, as
Almost
well.
a kind of chocolate in it now for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
there is a toffee in there now, isn't there?
Yeah, kind of sweet.
Toffee crisp. Definitely a sweetness. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive peat head, and this isn't my favourite kind of peat.
This is a smoky peat rather than this isn't a medicinal
You know what?
Isla peat.
I didn't think I'd like this, but I do.
Second
Results.
sip's better than the first sip.
Yeah. It's less of a...
Second sip is much better than the first sip.
You've adapted to it a bit, haven't you?
I think it is.
Very pleasant.
Yeah, so I'm now getting on the second one, I'm getting a lot less of the peat, and actually I'm like, oh. I often find that when you have a peaty one, once you acclimatise to the peat, you then get all the different flavours coming through.
So yeah, I guess the first bit you have, you're just going to get the peat, and once you've got used to it, yeah.
Cigar Box Odyssey with a dried fig cluster.
Cigar box.
Yeah, it's more of a smoky cigar box than, as I said, like a Isla medicinal Band-Aid peat.
I'm getting the figs now, though. I think I am getting the figs. Do you know what I really love, Dan? Is you get some figs, you wrap them in like a Parma ham or something like that, bake them for a little bit, not too much, just a little bit of heat, balsamic and salt.
Is that what you're doing for dinner later?
We don't have any figs in.
Oh, what? Who's got figs in? Who doesn't have a fig in?
Figure it out.
I could figure it out.
Nice, that.
Right now, it's just a figment of my imagination.
Oh, where do we go after that?
I feel like I need to configure the kitchen correctly to make that dish.
Don't need-
Reconfigure the kitchen,
I
maybe.
need too much. You need to watch your figure.
That's a good point.
We've all seen your figure this week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's growing, for sure. For sure. Yeah, this is actually... I'm
May
going
I have
to add a little bit of
may I
water.
pour a little bit?
By all means. I'm going to add some water just to see what happens, because obviously it is so strong. I've probably overdone it there, but...
So I noticed that I was going to ask you then. So you actually put a fair bit in there.
Yeah, I definitely overdid it.
Whenever I've been told before, it really should just be a drop to release.
Oh, it's up to you.
Is it a personal?
It's a personal thing.
Me too.
On something that's this strong, Dan, you can add more in. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yes,
still going to be
yeah.
over 40% even with what I put in.
Yeah.
If you're drinking a 40 to 46%, you maybe only want a couple of drops,
Yeah,
right? But
Yeah. Not only that, like if you put a couple of drops in, it will actually make your next sip more intense with flavour, because the oily kind of figments in the whiskey will separate from the water and go to the top.
I'll tell you what, that's a very, very pleasant drink with a bit of water. Comes really creamy. Really creamy.
Completely. It's like got the best bits of what was there.
Yeah. And a little bit less of the burn.
So it's slightly less aggression.
Yeah, for a strong whiskey, what this is doing less than what we're used to having when we have strong whiskey. I'm getting less mouth explosion, but it doesn't mean it's not got flavour. But often when you have a strong whiskey, my mouth just goes
Yeah.
with like saliva and everything else that's going on in there. It kind of reacts with everything. I think that's really, really exceedingly good with some water in it.
Yeah, it takes the edge off. Tasting more nuance. That's a word. Nuance.
Definitely get more of the fruit, the dried fruits when you add the water.
How much Christmas cake are we getting in this? That's usually a Highland Park thing, isn't it?
None. Not getting that.
I'm not getting much Christmas cake in that at all. Dried fruits, but
Yeah, it's all the fruity stuff.
yeah. Not getting a marzipan or a
Yeah, that was nice with a bit of water in it.
It's really nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
which is fine because it was big anyway, and you're going to get more out of your bottle.
Yeah. Well then, I have been pleasantly surprised by this.
I wasn't thinking it was going to be bad. You know, I was enjoying it. It's a 13-year-old Highland Park at the end of the day, and we like those. Like the 12 is their regular bottling, I think.
Oh, this
Of
is
course,
much
it's all-
nicer than that.
And yeah, it's all vatted together. That and that's Viking, is it? The Viking.
They call it
Viking
something like
Honor.
that. Yeah.
I think. But yeah,
Is it worth the money?
How much is it?
I can't remember how much it's sold for because I remember looking it up when I got it as a gift because I was trying to figure out who got it for me. I remember it being about £100.
Have you ever found out who gave it to you?
No.
Well, you've got some very interesting friends and family if they give you this and
They're roughly 80 or £90, aren't they? Ranging up to 125.
125, 145 for the Lafroig. But as we know, with the Isla whiskies, if they want to
more
put
expensive if
they
you
want
wanna
a
use them,
distillery,
yeah.
if you want to put the distillery on there, then you have to pay for that honour. So yeah, I would have thought Highland Park would have been less. So yeah, I don't know. But you can't get it. So anyway, thewhiskeybarrel.com if you want to look at this every month.
I'm not sure this is worth that much money.
I think I'm with you on that. It doesn't feel like, obviously you wouldn't expect something to be, 4 times better.
What we're paying for? We're paying for the single barrelness of it, and we're paying for the label, which, let's face it, the label doesn't mean anything to what's inside.
It makes it a collector's item.
It's a collector's item. What you're paying for is is it worth it for the single barrelness? I don't know. For that kind of money, you could probably go for an older Highland Park official bottling and maybe get something. Or they do Highland Park cask strength themselves now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would not say no if someone gave me some, as has been very pleasant. Not sure I'd spend that much.
No,
I don't think I'd love it enough.
No, so I'm the
like
same.
it.
Yeah, like I'm pleasantly surprised by it because I thought it was going to be. I thought it had the potential because I thought it potentially was just about the label, so that the liquid didn't make any.
Yeah.
Didn't mean anything. I really thought that might be a part of it, and if that's the case, it could be it could be garbage inside.
Yeah,
and I thought it might be, and it's not garbage inside.
It's not.
It's a pleasant
Absolutely
drop.
not.
It's a pleasant drop.
Highland Park cask strength, 63.9%, £57.95.
How old is that one then?
I would thought it's the. Where are we?
Doesn't have an age statement on it.
Doesn't have an age statement. That is unusual. Hey, Highland Park, what's going on? That is weird. 70CL, release number 2. I would have thought it'd be the 12-year, but it doesn't say on
Me
it.
too.
I have to go to the freaking website now.
I do want to keep drinking it now.
Yeah, no, I think we will. I think we will carry on and have a few more of this for sure.
Uh-oh.
That is okay.
It's okay. It's good. It's good.
Sorry.
Nick's getting annoyed because he's on a website for a distillery and he has to put his date of birth in.
It's not letting me do it.
Well, what browser are you using?
Yes.
Was reading tweets from disgruntled whiskey drinkers.
It's because he uses Safari. Who uses Safari on a computer?
There are many listeners listening.
No, they don't.
No, you're right. No one listens. That was such a
so quick. That was so quick. Hey, Chrome. Google Chrome. Google Chrome is where it's at.
Oh, that did work.
Oh. He's tried Firefox.
What are you laughing at me? You laugh at Apple.
Charles is right.
Laugh
Well
at,
annoying.
no, we don't like that, do we?
They got it on their website. They even got it on their
What's
website.
this? Full volume.
Don't get distracted.
Sort of thing you
You're not a search
might
bar.
want to get straight before recording podcasts. You know?
What, getting this kind of thing?
Yeah.
I usually do. I usually do a lot of research. But we went for a walk today.
We did. We sorted out London.
I can't be asked, everyone. There is this cask strength. I don't know
Cask strength, we don't know how old it is, but we know how much it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it was cheaper either way, and that maybe if you're going to want to experiment on a cask strength
Highland Park, yeah.
you'd do that before you did this one. Dan is going in for more.
If I got this right then, so this is made by Highland Park.
Yes, but bottled,
it's
right. Yeah, so you can get. So this is something that we discovered when we started doing the podcast, which we didn't know much about beforehand, or I didn't know anything about. And it's called a whole tradition within whiskey called independent bottling, where people can go to a distillery and say, we'd like a cask to bottle.
Right. Kind of almost like a licensing type thing.
This one, which I've got here, which we drank a little bit of last night, the Great Drams one, that's an independent bottler, Great Drams. And they approach different distilleries and ask, can we have some of your whiskey? And they'll handpick, so they'll get a load of samples and they go, I want that, and that. Or they don't, or they're saying, actually, no, that's for us. So if you get a good independent bottler that you start trusting, they will introduce you to different types, and they're often unique. There'll be like stuff that you can't necessarily get from the distillery themselves, either age statements or finished a different way. So you can get some really interesting stuff.
Also, a lot of whiskies which might only end up in certain blends of the big blends.
Right, so
you can't usually buy them from as they like a single malt, for example, but indie bottlers do kind of.
So before that might go to the blend situation, they're sort of taking a few casks and getting on with it, basically.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
some people take the spirit and put it in their own casks. Some people just buy the cask after it's been aged a few years. There's loads of different options you can do.
But it's a pretty cool thing, which I love, because, as I say, if you get an independent bottle which you like, and you start liking a few things of, you'll try that. You've kind of got a company who's picking whiskey for you to try from all over the place.
Do they have similar styles in these sort of so if you like a particular type that they do, you're likely to like their other type?
If you build a relationship with them, they'll be able to guide you through that. A lot of them are quite small companies. So you'll be able to build a relationship with them if you like what you've had, or ask them, hey, I really like this one. Do you recommend anything else?
Right.
They're likely to be that kind of company. So there's a company called Boutique who do a whole range from around the world. They really try and bring stuff back, which you may not have had. So there was an Australian rye that we've had down here, which is from Boutique, and that was independently sourced. They'll tell you what the distillery is if they're allowed to. Some of the distilleries don't. As Nick just said, there are some distilleries in Islay which you have to pay more if you want to put their distillery name on your bottle. You can just say it's an Islay whiskey, and say the region it's from without mentioning. And sometimes that's a good game as well, guessing where it might be from.
That's interesting.
It's a whole part of whiskey which we've absolutely loved getting to know.
And when are you going to do your own?
When we've got money, which is definitely not anytime soon. Listeners, feel free to join our Patreon page.
Nice link.
Or buy our t-shirts or Glencairns. Anyway.
Zazzle.com/.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to keep drinking this now. It's okay.
Yeah, of course you can.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things.
What else you got coming up, Dan, after we finish Abbey Road?
For the following week, I will sit quietly in a corner.
I'm going to be so depressed.
Rocking backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I do in the studio anyway. Just then I have a guitar.
Yeah.
But this time I won't probably. And back to real life. It's been really quite an experience, I think, for all of us. And it's that odd feeling, I suppose, when you know it's coming to the end. But it's been an amazing experience for us all, I think. And really, really proud of people to hear it whenever they can. I'm sure you'll
we don't know. We don't know when that's going to be yet, but
yeah.
So
I'm really excited for that, and thanks to you both for having me along with it.
Me, love doing me. Thanks, Dave, for having me along with it.
You're welcome. I mean, yeah. Cheers. Thanks for Nick. Nick's done some amazing photos. If you follow,
he has
me on social media or Nick's photography pages, you would have seen that he's taken some amazing photos from within the studio.
Yeah,
capturing all of us at our better angles.
Yeah, which is not easy to do. And specifically, that's a hard word to say right now after a little bit of whiskey in the afternoon. He's managed to not take pictures of you not wearing much.
Yeah,
which is great.
There's something to be in the other room when that happens. But,
yeah, I can't imagine
it's only happened a couple of times. But yeah, I won't put anything. Well, I've got a video of you doing it actually.
Right.
Put that in the Instagram story. What do
you want, mate?
Yeah,
it's your footage.
Oh, is it? So I can sell it back to you now.
I don't know how that works. It's always a grey area.
Huh? Blackmail?
Yeah, that's weird.
Been in the news this week. Topical.
True. Yeah. So I brought it up.
So Dan, obviously I picked up earlier your band, which are amazing, Alite. How do we find out more about them?
Check us out on facebook.com/Alite Band, ALITEBAND, or aliteband.com, and everything else, Instagram. You can find it all from one place these days, can't you?
Yeah. Well, look at our show notes, everyone.
Got some nice vinyls.
Oh,
all
yeah.
sorts of things.
Mate, well, I finally got my copy of the vinyl this week, didn't I? But I haven't obviously been able to sit down and listen to it yet.
Personally signed.
I know. Very happy.
I just about managed to write my name.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. Is it in crayon, like with a backwards?
It's kind of
D.
Yeah, I have to have a stencil.
Yeah.
So and just hold it like that.
Oh, nice.
I haven't actually written anything for about 20 years.
Yeah. Anyway, should we wrap this up? Because the washing machine just beeped at me, which means I've got to go and change the bed sheets.
I wonder what it was. You can watch this full conversation if you dare, listeners, on our Patreon page. If you remember, head to patreon.com/whiskey and things. And yes, as we mentioned last week, we're sending out samples to our patrons for our 100th episode show extravaganza. And we will let you know soon when that will be recording. We've had a busy week. We'll be deciding that very soon, and we'll let you all know. So yes, still time to get involved if you want to come along to that.
Absolutely.
97, so 3 away.
3 away. We've really got to pull our fingers out with that, haven't we?
We do. So yeah.
So the verdict on this is that it's a good drop, really good drop.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit overpriced, but it's still a really good drop. If someone bought me another bottle of a different kind,
I'm not angry at it.
I'd be really happy with it.
I'm not angry at it, mate.
No. I don't think I'd collect them. I don't think the bottle is attractive enough to collect. Do you agree with
Did you
that?
get a box with it?
No.
No box either?
No box either.
I thought that walking past this bottle for the last few days, because you notice these things and others look better.
Yeah, like Ben, it's sitting
let's
next
be
to
honest.
a lot
Yeah.
of other bottles which look really great.
They probably
This
should
has
have
just
thought
got a
about that a
novelty
bit.
label on, right?
The label hasn't been finished nicely. around
No,
the edges
yeah,
either.
exactly. It's kind of like, it just feels like it's been printed on a home printer, doesn't it? And when you're paying as much as you are for these, you kind of would expect a little bit more quality on that
A little
front.
bit. You expect a box at least.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't matter, but yeah, you want a bit more bang for your buck. Anyway, should we light this candle?
I think we should. Very nice. Very nice.
Should have come at the beginning of the episode. but
Yeah,
never mind.
appreciate that, Nick.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Angels have had their share.
So have you.
So, yeah. So it's done. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
Enthusiasm, everyone. Whiskey and Things has been brought to you by And Things.